He left me pregnant, very unhappy. My parents didn't even help me. I was alone on that block.
I think the key is mutual respect. My first husband didn't know what that meant.
I stayed for 30 years, waiting for him to love me back. He never did.
My husband found his high school sweetheart. Then we weren't married anymore.
He left me pregnant, very unhappy. My parents didn't even help me. I was alone on that block. People always ask me, "How did you get through it?" And I always say the same thing. I cried a lot, and then I kept moving, because what else are you going to do? You sit down and stay down. Life does not wait for you. I had a baby coming. I had rent to pay. I had a life to live, and nobody was coming to live it for me. I want young people to understand something before they get married. Watch how your partner handles responsibility, not big responsibility, small responsibility. Do they show up when they say they will show up? Do they follow through on the small things? Because a person who cannot handle the small things will absolutely fall apart when the big things come, and the big things always come. My husband could not handle a disagreement without shutting down completely, could not handle a bill without blaming me, could not handle a crying baby without leaving the room. These were signs. I saw them. I chose to ignore them because I was in love. And love makes you believe what you want to believe. So before you marry someone, stop believing what you want to believe and start seeing what is actually there. That person standing in front of you, that is who they are, not who you hope they will become, not who you need them to be, who they actually are right now. See them clearly, before you say "I do," because after the wedding, you cannot unsee what was always there.
I think the key is mutual respect. My first husband didn't know what that meant. I was married to him for 7 years. 7 years of trying to be heard. 7 years of feeling like my thoughts were an inconvenience. My feelings were an overreaction. My needs were too much. He was not a cruel man. He simply did not see me. And after a while, I stopped seeing myself too. That is what happens when someone consistently makes you feel like your voice does not matter. You start to believe it. You start to shrink. You start to disappear inside your own life. One day, I looked in the mirror and did not recognize the woman looking back at me. That was the day I knew something had to change. My second husband, Edward, was different. When I spoke, he put everything down and looked at me, really looked at me, like what I was saying mattered, like I mattered. We disagreed sometimes, of course we did, but he always made me feel like my perspective was valid, like I had a right to my own opinion. We were together for over 20 years before he passed, and I would do every single day again. So, before you say "I do," notice one thing. Does this person make you feel more like yourself or less? Because the right person should always make you feel more. If you are already shrinking before the wedding, you will disappear completely after it.
My husband found his high school sweetheart. Then we weren't married anymore. I was 23 years old. We had been married for 4 years. I thought we were happy. I thought we were building something real together. And then one Tuesday evening, he sat me down at the kitchen table and told me he had found someone from before me, someone he never quite let go of. I was 7 months pregnant, 7 months. I remember looking down at my stomach and thinking, what do I do now? He was gone within a week, packed a bag, said he was sorry, and walked out that door like the last 4 years meant nothing, like the baby coming meant nothing. I called my mother. She said she was busy. I called my sister. She did not pick up. I sat on that floor and I cried until I physically could not cry anymore. And then I made myself a promise. I am going to survive this, not for him, for this baby. And I did. I raised that boy alone, worked 2 jobs, never asked that man for a single thing. And my son grew up to be the finest man I have ever known. So here is what I want you to hear before you walk down that aisle. Look at what your partner does when things get hard, not when life is easy and beautiful, when things fall apart. Because the person who stays when staying is difficult, that is the person worth marrying. And the person who walks away when you need them most, no matter how much you love them, is not the one. I learned that the hard way. You do not have to.
I stayed for 30 years, waiting for him to love me back. He never did. People always talk about finding someone who loves you, but nobody talks about what happens when you spend your whole life loving someone who simply cannot love you back. My husband was not a bad man. He provided, he was faithful, he was present. But he was cold, emotionally cold. In 30 years, I never once felt truly seen by that man, never felt chosen, never felt like I was anything more than a responsibility he had taken on. And I stayed. Lord, I stayed. Because in those days, you stayed. Because leaving felt like failure. Because I kept thinking, maybe tomorrow he will soften. Maybe this Christmas he will reach for my hand. Maybe one day he will look at me the way I have always wanted to be looked at. That day never came, and I wasted 30 years waiting for it. So here's what I want you to understand before you marry someone. Shared values are not enough. Compatibility is not enough. Stability is not enough. You need to feel chosen. Every single day, you need to feel like that person is glad you are theirs. Not just comfortable, not just used to it, genuinely glad. Because a life spent beside someone who tolerates you is the loneliest life there is. And I know, I lived it. 30 years of being in the same house as someone and feeling completely alone. Do not do that to yourself. You deserve someone who reaches for you, not someone you spend your whole life reaching for.